Welcome back. We want to shift our focus this segment as Public Affairs on Peach continues to look at the serious crime of stalking in Georgia. My guest this segment, Lieutenant Chris Story from the Clayton County Sheriff's Office. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
We're talking about stalking. It can have some very serious consequences.
Yes, it can.
It's a crime.
Yes. Stalking is one of the things that we take very serious at the Clayton County Sheriff's Office, to the point that Sheriff Victor Hill thought it was important to create a unit just solely for working on these type of crimes. So he started a stalking unit. The stalking unit comprised of about 4 deputies, and what we are tasked with doing is in serving protection orders, both stalking and family violence protection orders, and enforcing the provisions of the same.
I thought it was interesting you said if you stalk someone while you're under an order of protection, you can actually be charged with aggravated stalking.
Absolutely. So stalking itself is a misdemeanor in the state of Georgia. However, if a person obtains, they believe they're being stalked, and there's some behaviors that has been presented to them, and they obtain a protection order, they will then, by that protection order being in place, if that person commits that act again, they can be charged with aggravated stalking, which is a felony in the state of Georgia.
I think some people think that's just a piece of paper, though. You know, oh, it's just a piece of paper, doesn't mean anything, nobody's going to hold this up in court. Well,
you know, it is a piece of paper. It is not a bulletproof vest of protection. However, what happens in Clayton County is when our officers go out to serve that order of protection, they make sure that that respondent understands the seriousness of those provisions, and if they violate those provisions, then the Clayton County Sheriff's Office is going to come down on them with the full wrath of the state of Georgia, and we prosecute to the fullest extent.
We've had a couple stalking cases lately in the news. Anything from Clayton County that really sticks out in your mind that you've been a part of?
You know, we've had numerous of cases where people have been in some very tough situations, because when we talk about stalking, a lot of times people think about stranger stalking, but it's also the intimate partner stalking, and that's where it's more prevalent. But there was one particular case that stands out in my mind where a young lady was being stalked by her husband, and she was in the relationship, still in a relationship with him. She was married with him, she was living with him, but she told me the worst part of her day was the drive home, because she knew what behaviors she was going to be subjected to. And we intervened in that young lady's case, and we was able to get him arrested. We got a protection order for him, for her. And after she obtained that protection order, because of the behavior that he has, he violated said order, and then we charged him with aggravated stalking. And as a result, she's no longer married to him. She was able to move on, and she still lives here in Atlanta with a very productive life, and we were proud of the fact that we were able to participate in that process.
Well, Lieutenant, how many stalkers would you say you've actually put behind bars?
Personally, I have put probably 30.
Wow.
During the course. Now, I started doing this in 2005 up until today's date. But this year, 2017, the Clayton County Sheriff's Office arrested 12 people in violation of protection orders. We served 1,397 orders of family protection orders, and we have arrested 12. We also do something a little bit different in Clayton County. Every time a person is served with an order of protection, we take the firearms from those persons. Oh. So we received about 63 firearms over the year of 2017. And like I said, we're doing a lot of good work. There's still more work to be done, but I would like for everybody that is having this benign behavior being perpetrated against them, you know, we have to contact their local authorities and notify them. The Sheriff's Office has a patch, and on our patch we have a panther. And the reason why we use a panther is because a panther stalks their prey. And our prey are those who perpetrate harassment, intimidation, and stalking against their intimate partners and strangers.
Lieutenant Story, I think it's interesting. You told our producer, usually once you have to arrest someone, you don't see them having one of those crimes committed again. I think that whole idea of once they go behind bars maybe stops them.
I think we haven't seen any recidivism as a result of persons that we have arrested. So I think that us using what tools the state of Georgia has given us and using those effectively and consistently has helped a lot.
Would you say other units, other jurisdictions are watching what you guys are doing and trying to implement Clayton County's program?
Well, I don't know if they're actually going to implement, but I have spoken to a lot of different agencies. I do trainings around the United States, teaching law enforcement officers about units like this, and I think we are making headway of making changes around the world.
A lot of success in Clayton County.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Lieutenant Story.
All right, thank you.
All right, when we come back on Public Affairs on Peach, how you can avoid stalkers So you want to hear this, stay with us. We're going to wrap up our look at public affairs on Peach when we come back.